Peace, family. Peace, family. Let me get everything situated. Let's get some more people in the chat room. But today's topic, this evening's topic, afternoon, wherever you're at. Sorry about that. Hold on. Hold on. I got to go on two different windows. There we go. Sorry about that, you guys. Sorry about that. But this evening's topic, this afternoon's topic, the game is right. Okay. Yes, man. The game is correct. If we were to leave America for Africa, we would cripple America's economy. Bawoni, Ekale, we would cripple America's economy. Let me start off with this story. So when I was just in Ghana this past December and had the opportunity to spend some time with brother Abadali Gabon, right? Had the opportunity to spend some time with Abadali Gabon, brother Gabon, powerful brother, right? And he told me something that was very powerful. He says that black people, we march, we protest, we complain about the racism, we complain about the injustices. But at the end of the day, myself included, I'm just as guilty, myself included. I worked in corporate America, I pay my taxes. So I'm just as guilty. But this is what Brother Cabone said, and he was on point with what he said. I asked him why he hasn't renounced his US citizenship yet. He's in the process of doing it. And what they've done, they made it harder to renounce your US citizenship if you want to. Me personally, I won't. But Dr. Gabon is a real one. He said he wanted to. He said he's going to. I asked him why. This is what he said, and this is key. He said, as long as you are in America, you're working a job, or you work for yourself, doesn't matter. You're paying taxes. Those taxes go to the police officers, funds the police enforcement, the police station, that then in turns marginalizes you. Your taxes fund the federal prisons where black people, black Americans, there you go, brother Nubian, funding our own goddamn oppression. There we go. Thank you, brother Nubian. There you go. Brother Nubian just said it. So when you pay taxes, those taxes are distributed into the same systems that marginalize you. Then you go out, you march, we protest, we get upset, hands up, don't shoot, hands up, don't shoot, no justice, no peace. No, and Twilight, and I'm going to get into that as well. I'm going to get into it as well. That's why you can't give up your U.S. citizenship as easy. That's why. Me, I'm going to continue to hold my U.S. and my U.S. passport and my Nigerian passport. But yes, I'm going to get into that. But as you pay taxes, I'm going to continue to keep both, my Nigerian and my U.S. Call me what you want. I'm going to get into why it's hard to renounce your U.S. citizenship. I'm going to get into why. But when you work your job, really, when you pay taxes, either you work for yourself, work a 9 to 5, you pay taxes. Your taxes are taken out and put into the same system that is used to marginalize you. The prisons, courts, police, everything. And that's why Brother Cabone said that's why he wants to renounce his citizenship. I can't disagree with him. Me, for now, I'm keeping both. I'm keeping my U.S. and my Nigerian for now. Yes, you can have dual citizenship or dual passport. Yeah, dual citizenship. And that's it. You can't get a passport unless you're a citizen. So yes, you can have dual citizenship. Nigeria allows it and America allows it. Some countries don't allow it. Like I'll give you an example. The African countries that I know off the top of my head that do not allow dual citizenship: Cote d'Ivoire, Tanzania, and I think there's some other ones. There are more, but I just don't know off the top of my head. So yes, Nigeria allows dual citizenship. Yeah, I am not, and, I know all these ADOS warriors come on here and say, Dynasty, man, you ain't real. When you gonna leave? When you gonna denounce your US citizenship? I'm not denouncing it. I'm not denouncing my US citizenship anytime soon. I will continue to have my US citizenship, and I will continue to have my Nigerian citizenship. Period. But what was I getting to? So as you pay taxes, those taxes are go into the same systems that you say are marginalizing you. Guys, let's get these likes up. Hit this like button. Hit the like button. I've already talked about the Asian chief in northern Nigeria. I already spoke on that. But hit the like button as you come in here. So again, the same system you pay into via taxes, those monies are distributed to the industries and the systems that are used to marginalize you and marginalize people all over this planet. Same thing with my African immigrant family. Same thing. You say that the West destabilizes your country. You say that the West destabilizes your country. Again, you say the West stabilizes destabilizes your country. You say that the West puts in place your puppet leaders. That's why your country is not stable. That's why there's no opportunity in your country. So you didn't leave your country, you come to America. You get a nice job. They even brag about it. Yeah, Nigerian immigrant, you are the most educated and most successful immigrant group in America. They tell you, they applaud you, Nigerian. Nigerian, you are the most successful immigrant in America. Yes, you are, Mr. Nigerian. They give you high paying jobs. They give you high paying jobs. You then continue to build up the American infrastructure with these high paying jobs. Because like in corporate America, I did sales. If I turned in a contract, right, in sales, and I was given a commission of, we'll say, $1,000, my company probably made, over the lifetime of the contract, my company probably made 20,000. So Nigerian immigrant, if you're getting paid $100,000 a year, you're not only building the infrastructure of America, the corporations, the taxes that go. I mean, them giving you, in fact, they're giving you 100,000 and they're getting $1 million in return. They're giving you 100,000 in salary. Ms. Zonic, I'll send you the link. Ms. Zonic, give me like 20 minutes. Give me like 20 minutes, I'll send you the link. They'll give you $100,000 a year. $100,000 a year. Nigerian immigrant, the most successful immigrant group in America. Congratulations. They'll give you $100,000 a year. But trust me, the system is making $1 million off your 100,000. So they'll invest 100,000 into you. But trust me, they're getting $1 million back in return. Then they take a portion of that million, they put it into their war chest. That war chest goes to the same leaders that you say are American puppets to keep your country destabilized. So yes, indirectly, you're still funding your own oppression, indirectly. But again, if everybody was to pull out, all black people, immigrants, ADOS, whatever, were to pull out, the economy of America would cripple. I'll give you one example. I'll give you one example. Let's use the University of Missouri football team. This is probably 2 or 3 years ago. University of Missouri football team, predominantly black. So there was a racist dean on campus, University of Missouri. University of Missouri, there's a racist dean. So the students were demanding that the dean be let go. Nobody will listen. You know, the regents, the government, whatever, wouldn't listen. The day the football team came together, predominantly black football team came together and said, look, we are not going to play until this dean is removed. Guess what happened? The dean was out the next day. Look it up. The dean was out the next day. If you knew how much revenue football brings to these universities, just football alone, if every black D1 football player said, we're going to boycott this Saturday, watch what will happen. I'm telling you. Yeah, I think that's in Columbia, yeah. If every black D1 NCAA football player said, we're not playing opening day, we're not going to show up to opening kickoff, we're not going to come on the field, watch what will happen. Watch what happen. Not, I mean, we'll just look at college football. Watch what happens in America. Watch what will happen. I guarantee you, the stock market will crash. I mean, it was. You don't understand the impact it would make. Just that alone. Just don't show up on one Saturday. Don't show up. So the game is right. Like Amir Ross says, the greatest fear of America is for black people to move in mass. That's the greatest fear. So back to the citizenship situation. I'm keeping both. I'm keeping my American and I'm keeping my Nigerian. Of course, I'm keeping my Nigerian. I'm Nigerian. I always keep my Nigerian. I'm Nigerian. Nigeria is my home. But yes, they made it difficult for you to renounce your American citizenship because of the tax implications. What do you mean by the tax implications, Dinas? So you have these Bitcoin millionaires, these millionaires that got rich off of in Silicon Valley, off of tech and dot-com booms and internet millionaires. What happened, they started moving to Singapore and Mexico and Costa Rica to escape the tax obligations here in America. So they just said, forget it. We're going to renounce our city. In fact, look this. In fact, here goes a prime example. I'm gonna pull it up right now. If you guys remember the movie Social Network about the founders of Facebook, oh, wrong link. About the founders of Facebook, you had the Brazilian guy. So you guys know Mark Zuckerberg pretty much screwed over his partners who helped found Facebook. Hold on. So there was a Brazilian guy. Let me pull up his name. It was a Brazilian guy. I think his name is Eduardo. Yeah, Eduardo. Here we go. Here we go. Eduardo Luiz Severin is a Brazilian-born entrepreneur and angel investor. Severin is one of the co-founders of Facebook. In 2012, he owned 53 million Facebook shares valued at approximately $2 billion. At the time, he also invested in early stage startups as Quickie and Jumio. Hold on one second. Hold on. Let me read his story real quick though. So he renounced his U.S. citizenship. Here we go. This was May 11th, 2012. Let me read this article to you guys. So this is a CNNmoney.com. So basically what he did, he sued Facebook because, like I said, Mark Zuckerberg screwed him and the twins out of money, so he sued them. So this is what happened. Let me read this article. Eduardo Severin, one of Facebook's 4 co-founders, has renounced his U.S. citizenship, according to the IRS. The expatriation, first reported by Bloomberg, comes just before the social network is expected to launch an initial public offering of its stock next week. So with the IPO, the stock was going to go up. He had a certain amount. He's going to have to pay all those taxes. It's possible that the move will help Severin escape. It's possible that the move will help Severin escape some of the hefty taxes he'd have to pay on his Facebook stake. Bam, there you go. So he made that move so he didn't have to pay taxes. So you know what? The U.S. said, all right, you guys want to play games? You guys want to renounce your citizenship so you don't have to pay taxes? We're going to make it harder for you. Tina Turner renounced hers too. But now, in today's present time, they make it harder for you to renounce your citizenship so you don't escape the tax responsibility. America wants their taxes, basically. So that's what's going on now. They make it harder for you to renounce your U.S. citizenship so you won't escape the taxes. So that's what's going on. But what was really, I think the reason why the game said this is my reason. I think the reason why the game said this is because with Nipsey Hussle's death, people got a wake-up call. Now, some people want to, the conspiracy theory and the conspiracy and all, conspiracy theories, but still in general, if you listen, so there was a conversation between 2 police officers after, during the Nipsey Hussle's funeral procession. And the 2 police officers were talking bad about Nipsey's family, talking bad about Nipsey. And these are the same officers that are supposed to serve and protect you, that your tax dollars pays their salary. I mean, they were talking bad about Nipsey. They were talking about his family. And this is during his funeral procession throughout LA. Oh, that's the thing. I want my check. Give me my reparations check and I'm out. Like I said, America still has a debt that's owed. That's the one thing I agree with ADOS. America has a debt that is owed to the descendants of slaves. I agree with that. That we definitely can agree on that. So yeah, so the police were talking bad about Nipsey and his family. It is like, all right, come on. Like we pay your salary, but they're allowed to run around the neighborhood and do whatever they want. Guys, let's get these likes up. We have 233 people watching, only 94 likes. Please hit that like button as you come in. And then, you know, the LFP, I mean, let's look at this. Let's look at this. Let's look at the Nipsey situation. Why Gang would say something like this. So number one, they're disrespecting Nipsey's family during his funeral procession. That's number one. Number two, the guy that got shot with Nipsey, who just came out and got out of jail, needed some clean clothes, was going to meet Nipsey. He was going to meet Nipsey at his store to get some clean clothes. Gets shot by Eric Holder, you know, was there when Nipsey was killed. Now, back up for a minute. The police were talking about how Nipsey was a good role model, how Nipsey was, you know, changing his act, how Nipsey was doing all good for the community. You know, they were saying all these good things about Nipsey. So the guy that gets shot with Nipsey because he was out on parole or probation, probation, I guess, they ended up locking him up. And Nipsey, he was just there to get some clothes. He was just there to get some clothes. Just got out, needed to get cleaned up. Nipsey was gonna get us some clothes. Shout out to Gregory Wyatt, bro. Everybody, shout out to Gregory Wyatt for the super chat. Thank you, Gregory. Brother's a big supporter. Everybody, you know, I know I'm all over the place, but thank you for the support. I really appreciate it. He was just there to meet Nipsey to get some clothes because he's fresh out the pen. Is it parole or probation? I think it was probation. He violated his probation. He was on probation. And he got paralyzed. So he's there to meet Nipsey at his store to get some fresh clothes so he could look decent in front of his family. Gets shot, goes to the hospital, gets out the hospital, goes to a halfway house. They ended up locking him up because he was with Nipsey Hussle, and Nipsey Hussle was labeled as a gang member. Because I guess one of the conditions of his probation was he couldn't be around gang members. But at the same time, you have the LAPD and all these people talking good about Nipsey, how he was changed, how he helped impact the community, how he was doing big things in the community, how he was helping the community, doing this for the community, how great of a role model he is, how great of that he was. Okay, it's parole. Okay, I thought you got out on parole if you got locked up and you about to go to court and they go parole you out. I don't know, but whatever. Yeah, whatever. So they're saying all these good things about Nipsey, but look how they treat him during his death and look how they treat him after. Lock his homeboy up, talk shit about Nipsey during his funeral procession. But again, our taxes are, for the most part, funding this. So the game is like, look, if we would move back to Africa, we would cripple America. Again, everybody needs to have an African plan. Everybody needs to have an African plan. I'm telling you. Stop with the stalling tactics, the Negro stalling tactics. Oh, well, they sell me into slavery. What about the Chinese? I mean, the Chinese chief. Let's see. What else? What else? I'm trying to think. You know, you got every. They call me a cocker. They call me a cocker. They call me a cocker, man. I ain't going to Africa, man. Somebody call me a cocker. But see, all the Africans coming over here. Why we gotta go visit over there? Huh? They all coming over here. Why we gotta go visit over there? You come with all these stalling tactics. Meanwhile, the police that you pay to protect you are laughing at you. The police that you pay to protect you are laughing at you when you're dead. Laughing at you. I saw videos of police no knock raid, kill somebody, and they laughing about it. They joking about it. But I can't go to Africa, man. They call me a cutter. They call me a cutter, man. I can't go to Africa, man. They call me a cutter. But a police officer that you pay is laughing at you when you get shot in the street. Then locking up your homeboy because he just needed a shirt. You continue to have this Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde relationship here with the people that don't like you. Again, we talked about this on the previous video. You got Black Americans bragging about how they served in every war, which is a fact. But let's say you served in the Revolutionary War, you were still enslaved. You served in the Civil War. After that, they hang you in your uniform. They didn't give you your 40 acres and a mule, still didn't give it to you, reneged on it. You had the Reconstruction era. You get out the Civil War, you start a business. Here come angry white people, mad that how dare this black man compete with me? So he comes, burns down your store, kills you, kills your family. You serve in World War One. You serve in World War One, Red Summer. They killing you and lynching you in your army uniform. You come home, you go fight in the war, come back to America. Angry whites are killing and lynching you in your uniform. World War II, same thing. They're treating the Nazi prisoners of war better than you, black man, and you fought in the war. Korean War, they're running all types of experiments on you, injecting all types of stuff, using you as a guinea pig. Vietnam, and all these wars, you're all cannon fodder. Same thing with Vietnam, you're cannon fodder. You come home from Vietnam, here comes the war on drugs in your community. Police brutality still, the list goes on. But you want to brag about how you fought in every war. Why? Why brag about it? That shit is a job. Just treat it like a job, okay? It's a job. Use your GI Bill, get your education, stay alive. That's the best thing I can tell you. You go to the military, get your GI Bill, get your GI Bill, go to school, get your college degree, stay alive. Like I had people telling me stories like Vietnam vets, black Vietnam vets telling me stories. When they were in Vietnam, the Vietnamese was like, "Why are you here, black man? They treat you like shit in America. Merchandise is coming." Like the Vietnamese were telling the black soldiers, "Black man, like they treat you like shit in America. Why are you here fighting for them?" Like, they just didn't understand. Like you're cannon fodder for the same country that treats you like shit. Can you please help us out? The Vietnamese didn't understand. You have the school to prison pipeline. You come back from war, you go into your black communities, crack, the schools suck, Property values are shit. But damn it, you can't go to Africa because the African called you an Akata. And all beyond, you just can't go because the African called you an Akata. You can't even consider it. Have an African plan because there's a Chinese chief in Nigeria and then they called you Akata. So damn it, you just can't do it. If the Africans called you Akata, even though everything they've done to us here in America, you just can't consider having an African plan because the African called you Akata or called you a name, said you ain't a real African. You just can't do it. You can't do it. I mean, they put crack cocaine in your neighborhood. I mean, all this shit is documented. This ain't a conspiracy theory. Like all this is documented. You guys need to watch the Freeway Rick Ross documentary, Cracking the System. Like literally, they were paying. I don't know, dude was like from Central America. The U.S. government was allowing him to sell crack in the black community. They lock up Rick Ross. They let him go. Thank you to do for the super chat. So they put crack in the community, all this stuff. But damn it, you just can't consider Africa because the African called you an Akata. You can't dance the end all be all. I can't do it because they call me Akata. I just need help. Am I missing something? Am I missing something? You get lynched in your business suit. I mean, look at the pictures. You have black men getting lynched in their. Ahmed Raw brought this to my attention a couple of weeks ago, and I never really looked at it like that. If you notice, all the pictures of black men being lynched, the majority of them were in suits. Then I researched it. They will literally drag you out of your store, your grocery store, your business, drag you out, lynch you in your suit in front of everybody. Everybody's sitting there laughing and watching and smiling, drinking beer, smoking cigarettes. Little white children just watching and smiling. Thank you for Monique. To Monique. Thank you, Monique, for the super chat. Then, see, this is what happened. Black men were lynched for having business in their suits, or they would go to court. Listen, go to court, obviously be accused of doing something wrong, wrongfully accused, falsely accused of doing something they didn't do, go to court. White mobs will get upset. How damn this Negro have a court date? We're gonna have court in the streets. Drag him out of the court and hang him. Then you had situations where black people were going to exercise their right to vote. Same thing. But damn it, you can't consider Africa because Africa called you Kata. Someone help me out. Can somebody please help me out? Am I making sense? Am I exaggerating? This is not a conspiracy theory. I know I'm being a dead horse. I am, but I'm just saying. Am I missing something? And this ain't a conspiracy theory. These are facts. These are on the books. This really happened. You're a fourth class citizen, especially in California. It's whites, really a fifth class. Here we go. In California, especially LA for black people, it's whites, non-blacks, Hispanics, whatever you want to call it, non-black illegals, dogs than you. The dog has more priority. The dog, Rottweiler, Fido, has more priority than you. Don't believe me? Go to LA. But damn it, you can't consider Africa because Africa called you a kata. But again, if you wanted respect, if we really wanted respect, if we really wanted to make moves and get shit done and gain the respect, again, like Amir Ross said, the greatest fear of America is for a mass exodus of black people. Again, you saw it with the University of Missouri and the football team. Football team said, look, we're not playing. Shit. Next day. I used to play football and I ran track at the University of Georgia. I know what happened. UGA says we're not playing Saturday. In fact, you don't need the entire NCAA. All you need is maybe two conferences. Say the SEC and the Big 12. Say all the black athletes in the SEC and the Big 12 say we're not playing Saturday because of this injustice right here. Shit would be done to same day. I'm telling you. You just need like the SEC and the Big 12. SEC and the Big 12, they said, we're not playing. We're not going to play because of the injustices of this, that, and the other. Donald Trump will sign off on whatever the same day. They'll have an emergency meeting at Congress. I'm telling you. All right, Josh said, what about mosquitoes? Listen, there's more bugs in the South during the summertime than there is every place I've been to in Africa. Come to Georgia when it gets hot and see all the all types of just weird shit starts crawling everywhere. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Come to Georgia in the summertime. There'll be bugs crawling all over the place. When it gets about 80 degrees in Atlanta, bugs everywhere. So yeah, the game is right. We will cripple America if we move back to Africa. Period. Period. All right, I'm about to send a link to the brother. I'm about to send you the link. Hold on one second. About to send you the link. Hold on one second. Mizani, I'm about to send you the link right now. Mizani, check your email. Mizani, I just sent you the link. Real money, thank you for the super chat. So, okay, hold on, stop the show. Somebody just said something in the chat room. You guys fear mosquitoes, right? You fear mosquitoes. You fear mosquitoes, the mosquitoes of Africa, more than the LAPD. Y'all fear mosquitoes more than the LAPD. That's another show. Hey, brother, you got to turn your sound down. It's echo. You fear mosquitoes. Brother, you got to turn the video. You playing the video. You got to stop it, the replay. You hear me? What's up, brother?
Yeah, 1 second. 1 second.
You got to close the other window wherever it's playing.
Hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I got it. I got you.
What's going on, brother?
Nothing much, man. How you doing? Appreciate you
No,
having me on the show, man.
no problem, bro. You're Liberian.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, you wanna speak on the topic, and then you can speak about business opportunities. Go ahead. Floor is yours.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Mizanic. I'm actually an entertainer, but I'm a biomedical tech out here in Charlotte. I did electronics engineering actually at Decatur, Georgia, in DeVry University. But yeah, as far as this Africa thing, I think it's important for people to want to first visit Africa because it's hard to it's hard to just get people to wrap their minds around moving to a place you've never visited before. So that's the first thing. And once people visit, then like you visited and you keep on going back. That's basically because every time you go back, you learn something new and you see a lot of value in the place. So a lot of people here, they have to first think about visiting. Once they visit, then it will be a whole lot easier for them to either want to go back to invest or even move, in the future. So that's the first thing. As far as business opportunities and even purchasing a home or buying land, it depends on which country you go to. Because if you go to a place like Liberia, it's a whole lot cheaper than a lot of countries because for a while we were stable and then we had a civil war. So for like I would say 5 years, it was like a lot of construction going on, or I should say reconstruction. And over the years, people have just been trying to get their lives back going. So it's a whole lot cheaper to live in that country compared to a place like Ghana. Ghana.
Yeah, I tell people this, like, what people have to understand about Ghana, and again, I love my Ghanaian people, but Accra is probably the most expensive city in West Africa. So
Right.
if you're talking about moving to Ghana, and yeah, I got $10,000, $15,000, I would move to Accra. Accra is expensive, but go ahead.
Right. I mean, Accra is extremely expensive, but you know, it's still good for people to visit first, because
Right,
once
right.
you visit, then you could kind of have an idea on like, okay, I visited maybe 3 or 4 countries. I like this place better and I want to stay here. So I think visiting is very important. A lot of times the as we all know, the news media over here, they always put out information about Africa that's all about just shanty towns and animals and things of that nature. And propaganda is real, man. So because of propaganda, a lot of people are still scared just to go visit. And once people get that fear out of their minds and visit the place, it will be a whole lot easier for them to make that transition to actually want to move or even invest in business. So I really see visiting first as something we should do. Like I was saying, with a place like Ghana, I actually lived in Ghana. I lived in Ghana for like a whole year actually. I did I think 10th to 11th grade in Ghana. This was back in 96 or 97. I moved here in 97. And Ghana was nice, it was a little different in Liberia. The educational system is extremely hard. I mean, compared to Liberia, but I mean, it makes you smart. It makes you want to learn more because you don't want to be in class with people and everybody's doing extremely well and you struggling. So Ghana experience for me was good. It's been years. I haven't really been back there, and I know when I was there, it was developing a little bit fast. So I can imagine what it looks like now. I mean, I've seen pictures, but it's nothing like putting your feet on the ground. So I just encourage people to first try to visit. Do your research over here. Take your time, see which countries you want to visit or which country you can afford to go to first. I mean, if it's Ghana, let it be Ghana. If it's Nigeria or wherever else, try to visit a country first. Do some research. Try to visit another country. before you make that move to do a business. But like Liberia, I'm talking to a guy in Liberia. He's actually in one of the rural areas, but we thinking about opening a whole entertainment area. Like we trying to do Airbnb, a bar, and so many different things.
Hey, brother, real quick, is it true that only blacks can own land in Liberia?
I well, I've heard that before, but I can't really put my finger on it.
Where were you born? Were you born in Liberia?
Yes, I was. I was.
Okay.
I heard that before, but I can't really put my finger on it. The reason I'm saying that is, as you know, like most of West Africa, a lot of Lebanese people are there. A lot of
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of Indians are there, and the Lebanese they own a lot of property. So I can't really say that like non-blacks whether they can't purchase property. I mean land and stuff. I don't know. I don't know that information whether it's true or not. But I
Mhm.
know that a place like Ghana, you have to go through a Ghanaian to be able to open certain types of businesses. You can't just open anything in Ghana. You have to go through a Ghanaian to be able to do that. So I know Ghana is like that. I don't know about Nigeria so much, but Liberia.
Listen, so when I go back in May, I plan on opening up a business, buying land. I'm gonna document everything. And let me read this super chat real quick. Shout out to Damien A. Uh, Now I know you know what's up. Give credit to your affiliation to Nigeria because most are as realistic as can be. I see you, bro. Hope all this and what Amin Ra preacher sinks in. It is almost game over. There's no way blacks can win here. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, so the main thing I look at is I don't know why I'm echoing.
No,
Yeah,
you're fine on my end.
okay. So yeah, the main thing I look at is people looking at business opportunities. If you're a business person in the US, wouldn't it be nice for you to have the same type of business in Africa, in several African markets? If you have a barber shop here, that's an easy way to expand. For instance, if you own a barber shop here, you could literally open a barber shop in Liberia. It just depends on what part of the country for like 5 to 10 grand, like $5 to $10,000, and you got a barber shop over there, and you employing people. You have another branch. You have a reason to get out of the country and go see what your business is doing. Same thing with owning a home. Like I stated on your other video that you could buy a home in Liberia for around 25 to 30 grand, like a nice 3 bedroom house. If you want more on that house or like a 4 bedroom or 5 bedroom or whatever, then the money starts going up a little bit, but it's still not going to be compared to here. Like a lot of us, we have homes, we've been in our homes for more than 10 years, and when you really look back and calculate how much you've spent on your house over here, you could spend that same money and own the property. You could spend like 40, 50,000 or even 80,000, and that'll be your property mortgage free. So these are some of the things people have to start looking at to really say, you know what, maybe it's time to see what Africa has to offer, or the Caribbean. Now the Caribbean is another good place to do business. It's much closer to the US. However, it's a little bit smaller. And then when it comes to the weather patterns, as we see, they always go through hurricanes and tornadoes and everything else. So it's like, it's just like, do I want to invest in the Caribbean where I may have to deal with hurricanes? Or I mean, it just depends on the individual, really. But it's still a good place to go and invest or travel to at least. But people shouldn't completely write out Africa just because we say Africa. I mean, and I think when people say Africa is just like people are not narrowing it down to like one country.
Well, that's the
Sometimes,
thing. I'm gonna do a video on this, but people think Africa, they think one country and all Nigerians.
right? Exactly.
Yeah,
It has to be like Africa has what, 54 countries.
yeah.
You have 54 different choices basically, as far as if you want to relocate, that you could actually move to. So it's not one country. Now you have French speaking countries, you have English speaking countries. As a US citizen, it will probably be to your benefit to travel first to an English speaking country, because you could kind of, speak English to other people and really get around easily, as compared to a French speaking country. If you can't speak the language, you'll kind of struggle a little bit. So I think it's important for people to travel. Once you travel, you could see, man, I could buy this bakery for like $2,000. I could do this, I could do that. A lot of people get tax returns, and guess what? They blow that money. I know a lot of women, a lot of black girls, they get up to 10,000 plus on the tax.
All the kids, yeah, family for
Oh
kids,
yeah,
yeah.
tax returns, and guess what, man? They blow that money. They blow. I'm telling you, within like 2 months, the money is gone. And you could say, you know what? I'm gonna save $5,000 for me and my family, but the other five, I'm gonna go ahead and try to visit Africa, see if I could build a house. I know a few Black Americans in Charlotte who are connected to the African community here, who are actually building homes in Liberia. So that's a good thing. I know a few of them, but we want to see more people coming over there. Liberia, especially, has a history with Black Americans. Black Americans actually established the country. So it's like, I don't understand why up to now Black Americans can't say, well, we established this country. If anything, let's just go and visit the place. That's it.
I think a lot of Black Americans, because of the whole coup, and it left a nasty taste in their mouth. And also, too, we get fed a lot of misinformation about Liberia. But what I want to do is a separate Liberia show with you
Right.
and Calathano. Shout out to the Duke for the super chat.
Right. So I mean, I don't want to take up.
Yeah, and 1 second. Shout out to Ya Ankara Akan too. Thank you, brother. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't want to take up too much of your time, brother, but I really applaud what you're doing. You're traveling to different African countries. Actually, the last time I went was I went in 2013 or something like that. So it's been a while. I was supposed to go like this year, and things just didn't pan out the way I wanted it to. But we see you doing this, and we applaud you, man, because it's not easy to leave corporate America and survive. Another thing I wanted to touch on real quick before I get off is a lot of us college graduates, especially Africans who come to this country, um, and we fall in this trap of, oh, you got to go get his degree, you got to go get your PhD. I mean, from our parents. But the truth of the matter is, we should be striving, especially Black people, we should be striving towards getting a skill or a trade. I mean, it's nothing wrong with getting your 4-year degree or master's, whatever. I actually have a master's degree, by the way, in business. So when I'm talking about business, I'm not just talking out of my head, but I'm just saying a trade is very important. In Charlotte, I've served more than 500 people. I do TV repairs on the side. Even though I'm a biomedical tech and I'm an electronics engineer, I do TV repairs on the side. And I know you probably checked out my channel. I'm also
Is it worth doing TV repair? Because TVs are so damn cheap now.
Well, it depends. If you spend $5,000 on your TV,
people are spending $5,000 on TVs.
Back in the days, not now. When plasma
yeah, back in the day. Listen, so when I was growing up, we bought a big screen TV, like the bubble big screen TV back when I was a kid. That shit was like $4,000 or $5,000. I remember when the first flat screens came out. Them shits are expensive now, but now you go to Best Buy and get you a 52-inch 4K TV for like $400.
Yeah, again, like 5-6 years ago, people paid $2,000-$3,000 for TVs, man. And even now, people are like the curved TVs. They're still kind of expensive. So, if you purchase a TV like that, if you spend $3,000 on the TV, I mean, it will make sense to spend $200 to get it fixed. Even if you use it for like 3-4 years, So, but I've done a whole bunch of TV repairs in this area. I've done a whole bunch of computer repairs, hooking people's stuff up and all this extra stuff. You know what I mean? And I'll tell you, you know, my degree helped a little bit, but to be honest with you, I basically forced myself to learn a skill. And having a trade is very important. I have a website. I want people to, especially black parents, when your kids are in high school, it's time for you to get them involved in some type of trade. They can still do their 4-year degree or master's or PhD, but let them get involved with a trade because at least they could be able to earn some real money while they're doing the long-term stuff, you know. And that's my website is blackamericastar.com. If you go there, go to the vocational training page and you'll see a list of trade and some explanation on things you could do. But I think it's important for black people because first of all, Diners, like if you get a degree nowadays, a lot of black men can't even land a job. So you just got a degree, you got student loans, and you still can't work in your field, you know. So it's one of those things like having a degree is important. Nobody says it's not, but at the same time, I think we should start taking advantage of skills and trade. So um you know, I think that's very important. And this is not only for Black America, it's really even for Africa, because I talked about it on an interview I did like a few weeks ago on a radio station in Liberia. You know, I try to encourage the youth to do the same because a lot of them they graduate over there and then they're waiting around for government jobs. I'm like, why are you waiting around? If you had a skill, like if you knew how to cut hair, you could start your own little barbing business, even if you don't have a shop. You know, if you knew how to braid hair, you could do that. You know, you don't have to literally wait for money to wait to get a job with the government. I mean, you could get out there and do. If you were a plumber, you know, you could get out there and make some money. Electrician. So these are some of the skills that I'm talking about. This is how we're gonna really be able to change the youth, man, because a lot of black people are I mean, the black women are able to find jobs a little bit easier than black men. I don't know what it is. I think it's the whole thing about, you know, white supremacy and threat, because you don't want to keep on putting black men in position of power, you know. I mean, I think that has something to do with it too. But at the end of the day, you know, I really feel like the more black men who are going to look into doing trade, the better it would be for them because they'll be able to make their own money and not have people predict to them if they could get paid tomorrow or not, you know.
All right, brother. Appreciate you coming on. Go ahead and shout out your page and how people can reach you. And Nita Bita, you need to email me if you want to come on. You know, people be like, guys, I want to come on, and I see you put my email address in the chat, and then y'all don't be emailing me. So if you want to come on, you need to email me. All right, go ahead.
So yeah, you know, I'm an artist, international artist. You can check out my YouTube page, Mezonic Entertainment, and that's Mezonic. Or you know, my latest album is called Carnival. It's an international album. You'll love it. The video is on my page, my website, and everything, and on YouTube. But the serious conscious website is the Black America Star, where we highlight black people's success, and I say black people in this country, but it's really black people worldwide. You know, if you're successful, we highlight that. So please check out the both websites, Black America Star and MasonicRecords.com. Thank you so much, Diners. Appreciate that.
There we go. Shout out to STL. Mosquitoes don't practice white supremacy. There you go. Shout out to Greg White. Vocational trade skills are the foundational skills, nation building and survival globally.
Yeah.
Prerequisites.
It's hard to say that word. I struggle with that too, man.
Dang.
Yeah. But right, thank you, brother. Go ahead. I'm gonna get back to the show and watch you, man.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. Thank you, brother, for hopping on. Yeah, brother. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for jumping on, guys. You know, make sure you hit that like button. We have 303 people watching. Only 192 likes, but yeah, Dinus, you have to do another separate Liberian show again to set things. Now the dupe. Okay, now you can't take some of the offering. Okay, this is some of the offering for pastor for the church. The dupe. You can't have the offer for the church. Okay, the super chat. No, the dupe. You cannot. But the dupe, we are still gonna find you a husband in the chat room somewhere. Okay, we're still gonna find you a husband. All right. All right. The shirt. People keep asking. World Tribe Apparel. Hold on. I think it's called World Tribe Apparel. World Tribe Apparel. I think it's something like that. Yeah. So yeah, everybody. But make sure that like button. All right, guys. I haven't got the email from you yet, so I guess you don't want to come on. Everyone, thank you for joining. I'm gonna go ahead and close out. But everyone, thank you so much for joining. Make sure you go to Search for Uhuru on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and Facebook. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, family. Let's see here. Do you put ADOS first, African first, or Black first? Black first. Easy question. Black Ocean, thank you for the super chat. So everyone, thank you so much for joining. Make sure you go to Search for Uhuru on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and Facebook. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. Brother Masonic Entertainment. Make sure you guys support that brother. Go subscribe, buy a CD, album. And Masonic, if you got any music that I could play, please send me your. If you guys have any music that you could play, do you have any music that you would like me to play or feature that I could use with your permission? Do me a favor, Masonic. Shoot me an email. Email me your music, and I'll play it. If it's hot, it gotta be hot, Masonic. Gotta be hot. So I'll play it. Just let me know. Just let me know. So everyone, until next time, family. Dynasty Mirror, Search for Uhuru. Again, like, share, subscribe. If you haven't, go to Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and Facebook. Search for Uhuru. Again, family. Till next time. Peace. Masonic, what we'll do, we'll play your video on here too. Just shoot me the link and email me the link. All right, peace, family.